Hello, go Chiefs!
Shake things up a little. It's kind of like that's how we normally end, and why not?
We'll start with it.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Welcome to In5d Global Predictions. I'm one of your hosts, Gregg from In5d.com and In5d.net and In5d.vip. And I'm joined by the lovely, sexy, vivacious.
It's PsychicAlly.
Yeah.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
The hottest goddess.
Yeah. So he thinks that this is his, and I'm pleased that you do think so, my darling.
I do.
I think he just wants to show her ass. That's what she wants to do.
That's what they all seem to want to do. Yeah. Just saw it.
Like being insane.
Yeah.
She didn't.
Bear was just there before we came on. Ellie's baby cat. Well, Tink's baby. There's Bear. Isn't he a handsome little booger?
There he is. Here's our bear. He looks like a teddy bear. So he does. He's a sweetie.
He's got that big old.
Oh, don't stand on there. No.
He's got that big old pumpkin head.
He's huge. Oh,
And
darling, please.
let's pop into the chat room. No Shit Sherlock was the first one in. Hope you are good, Allie and Greg. We'll be watching on catch up, and we'll share. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hey, thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jeffrey Island Demon Man is still alive. I wouldn't be surprised either. I actually believe he is, because not a lot of us believe that was Epstein that got taken out of the jail.
Well, they have now just wiped their hands of the Epstein files at this moment in time. So
Yeah.
I am so not impressed with that.
Yes.
They're trying to say, I mean, this is a blatant lie, because they're saying that there's no client list. They're saying, when they've said it out loud. Each one of them. So I don't see how they are getting away with it. This play, I just don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I don't. Usually, I can see the 5D plan. I can see that maybe there's that move and this move. This one is totally off the charts.
Alex Jones, I'm not a big Alex Jones fan, but
He's done some good things. He's been around for a long time.
He has, but I'm just not a big Alex Jones fan. But he talked with somebody recently, and that person suggested that they're making it seem like there are none, but in the background, they're using that to blackmail the actual clients. Hey, either you tell us this or something bad will happen. That's a possibility. The way Trump plays his 5D chess, that's possible. But man, when Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Pam Bondi are all saying nothing about, and Trump are all saying there's nothing behind it, that's hard to believe.
Yeah. Doesn't seem. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not right. It's not right.
There's Akasha.
Hi, Akasha.
And Susie's checking in.
Hi, Susie.
The text looks larger.
It does. It's gone back to normal.
Yeah, people must have complained or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Mel popping in.
This is good. Oh, let's get ready for the like and share. Okay, because I think people have. Look at this. Just look at this. I'll just get my pad ready for the like and share.
Aw.
What are
Hi,
you
baby.
doing up there?
I want to
Bear,
help.
bear.
I want to help. I'm helping you, Mommy. Here it
Come
is.
on.
I found it for you, Mommy.
Yeah. He's like, right. So, yes, if anybody does like and share this, so like, share, or subscribe, any of those, and we'll put you on our list there. If I can find a list. It's okay, don't move. You're all right. Yep,
Yes.
you just carry on, my love.
Let me continue on here while you're doing that. Hi to Mary
Yeah.
and Dee Collins joining us. How are you, Dee?
Hi, Dee, lovely.
And there's Chrissy. Hi, Chrissy. And Linda.
Hi, see.
We haven't mentioned food yet, Linda, so you came a
No.
little fashionably late as per usual. Are you talking about you or us? Right?
Did anybody share or anything, darling? Because I missed it.
No, because we're still way back. Yeah, we still have a ways to catch up.
Okay, all right.
Saw a post on that Epstein is in, you know where? Photo was poor quality from a drone. I believe that. I believe that, Rob. There's Vera checking in. Hi, Vera.
Hey, Vera.
Oh, this is new. During this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars, a digital gift. Oh, that's on Facebook. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
There's Lilith. Where else are we? Were the floods in Texas planned? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, but we'll draw cards on it anyway.
Yeah.
There's Jeremiah. Hey, brother.
Hey, Jeremiah.
Susie's asking, was a deal made with Diddy that lightened his sentencing? That's a great question.
Vera was paid.
Okay. Vera's first one, liked and shared.
Okay. So Vera goes down twice, 28 and 29, Vera.
D saying, I read the Rainmaker core crowd seeded that area in the night. That wouldn't surprise me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there's Quad B is here with us. Jeremiah liked and shared.
Jeremiah. Okay. 30 and 31, Jeremiah.
Lilith is saying, hey guys, there is a reason for the Epstein thing. This isn't over. I've already done my own psychic detective work, and we just are going to basically have to walk by faith for a bit. Okay. But man, it's frustrating in the meanwhile.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi to Gemini. Greetings all. Have you thought about the Epstein list? I think there are way too many big names on that list, and it would bring the world to its knees. You're 100% correct, but that's what the world needs. All this shit has to collapse so it can be built up in the name of truth, love, and light. Rebuilt.
Yep.
What's your name? Sun Chris. Hi, Sun Chris. Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
And Quad B's adding on, because if the truth comes out, the whole system would fall and their way of life would topple with a huge revolution. Anarchy. Yeah. But I think we're all ready for it. It's like them postponing, first contact. Shit, we're already here. Look in the mirror, first contact.
Yes.
Let's see.
Bear.
He liked it.
Bear.
Oh, hold on. What's that name? D. Okay, thank you, D. You're number 32. So if anybody is new here and wondering what this list is about, liking and sharing, it's a little raffle that I'm going to do. So the last Tuesday of the month on the show, we'll pick a name, we'll pick a number, and I'll give away a 30-minute reading to somebody. Obviously, if there's 50 or more, then it will be 2 vouchers.
People saying hi to each other in the room.
I love that.
Hotel, greetings from our mini on the way home from the river crab and a lovely dinner.
Oh, very nice.
Why did I get hungry when you mentioned Linda? Blueberry pie. That sounds good. Yeah, that's funny. What would be the Quad B saying? What would be the reason of being an exception to the rule on readings pertaining to your sign? Because this is just global predictions. This is completely different than like what Allie does on Sundays and Mondays sometimes. And it's Bodie. Hi guys, finally seeing you live. Hope you're all doing great. Welcome back.
Hello.
See you, brother.
Hello. I tried to find you to send you a message, Bodie, because I remember you said about winning. Sometimes I do so many offers and things like that, I forget. And so I'd have reached out, and then if nothing has happened, then I rely on that person to come back to me. And so if I do owe you a reading, please reach out again, because I can't find you. I can't find you on Facebook. I can't find you in my, when you go on a search in my Visita, my website, I can't find it. So, so you'll have to kind of reach out if that's the case. Yeah.
G Trip C saying, if the kids were currency, yes, the floods were planned.
It's heavy on a heart, isn't it? It's just heavy.
Sure is. There's Akasha saying there's a video going around that Ursula von der Leyen and the EU is planning on taking savings to pay to rearm Europe. Do the cards agree, or fear-mongering? I don't know who that is and what that's about, but we'll look in the cards and see what the cards have to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to know, the question. Cards will answer it anyway, right?
You kind of need to know the wording of what you are predicting, though, sometimes. If you absolutely have no idea what the context is, whether it's a financial context or, sometimes it's very difficult answering that. I remember there was something like, it was something American. It's like, there's absolutely no way I understand anything about that at all. I wouldn't even know how to word it, what I'm seeing.
Well, you're pretty caught up on American politics. You've kept your ear to the ground.
Not names sometimes. And,
right.
Yeah.
Hi to Patrice Curtis.
Hi, welcome, Patrice. You was here for the astrology. You was there. So that was lovely.
The elite scumbags are talking banking collapse. Maybe that's why silver and gold have been rising.
Yeah.
Mary said she shared 3 times. Woohoo!
Mary, thank you, Mary. Mary who? What's this? Mary Van? Is it? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Tara says, all this shit has to collapse. Well said, Greg. It's true. I've been saying this forever. Since Pluto entered and exited Capricorn, it's about destroying everything that's not in humanity's best interest and being able to rebuild it in those best interests. So hell yeah. Hi to Ms. Jules. Welcome aboard.
And Ms. Jules also in astrology. Yeah. Oh, liked. Do you know what? Why does it keep saying double click on the name that I can't see the name? I have to click on it all the time. Is that happening to you as well?
Yeah, I just click on the screen, anywhere on the screen, and it goes away.
I know, but I'm trying to multitask, and that's just the
I know. I know.
Is Jules.
Yeah, it's just one more thing that.
So Mary is 33 and 34. Miss Jules is 35. And I've got a bear helping me with all of this.
Quad B saying, oh, I didn't know it was like it too. Heck, every time I watch you two, I make sure I like. So there's another one.
Well, let's put you in a couple of times then. Right, now you're going to have to hold it there because I've got to get this right, haven't I?
Quad B.
Oh,
put Quad B.
Run it again. Oh, Quad B.
Yeah.
Quad. How am I going to find it? Quad B.
Yeah. Well, Quad B's always here now, so we'll figure it out.
All right.
Hi to Shannon and Lisa and Jeremiah, of course.
Hi, Shannon, Lisa, Jeremiah. Hello.
Akasha shared and shared.
Lovely. Akasha, thank you.
Hi to Lori Jacobs and PD. Lisa liked and shared to Facebook.
Lovely. Thank you, Lisa.
PD thumbed it up.
Thank you, PD. We appreciate this. It just helps us get past that shadow ban thing.
I liked it, but if I want to pay it forward, but if I get it, I want to pay it forward because I have a reading already scheduled. Awesome.
Yeah, of course.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah.
Wow. Good for you. Vera's making some lifestyle changes. For the last 2 weeks, she's drinking tea and hasn't had any coffee. Have you kept away from the Coca-Cola as well? And I totally agree, Akasha. Rearm Europe. Yeah, because you guys have no way of protecting or defending yourselves.
No.
Linda shared 9 times.
Hey, Linda. Yay. Thank you.
And Shannon shared on Facebook.
Well done.
Lori linked and shared.
No, darling, wait a minute, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm trying to get caught up here too.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Who was the next one?
Shannon shared on Facebook.
Is that Shannon Rose?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Lori Jacobs linked and liked and shared. Yeah.
Lori Jacobs twice.
So Akash is saying Ursula von der Leyen is Chancellor of Germany. Rearm Europe is looking like Europe is going to war with Russia. Oh my. Yikes.
No. No.
Mm.
No.
And Shannon liked it also.
I'm having to do a new sheet because it got busy. So I'm having to redo some.
Jimmy Zen McKay. That's a new name. Welcome aboard.
Who was that last one? Because I'm having to do a
Shannon.
new sheet.
She liked
Shannon.
it.
Okay.
Welcome aboard to Jimmy. Who says they will crash everything next year in the year of the horse. Interesting. Uranus just transited to Gemini. It's true. Where was it? Yeah. Anyway, I was just reading about that. Patrice Curtis says your kitty's so cute.
Yes.
Aren't they all though? They are.
He really is. He's a big fluff ball. He's so soft. He's like softest teddy bear that you could ever have. He's so sweet.
Linda liked.
He is like a bear. Who liked?
Linda.
Linda, thank you.
I totally get it, son Chris, who says it never made sense to me who'd watch and not support with a like. I know. It costs nothing to give a thumbs up, right? Yeah, I totally, yeah. Triple C said share to Facebook and liked. I don't know if we've already gotten some of these before either or not. And Triple C said tagged 12 friends.
Wow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Thank you.
Aw, and that's appreciated too from Tara Lake. Took a while, but finally 3 coffees in appreciation. So thank you. We appreciate that. And that was on X.
Oh,
Thank you, Tara.
we're going to put you down as well. Thank you so much for the 3 coffees. So what's that? Tara Lake.
Yeah. Also goes as Tara on, I think, is it YouTube? But yeah, that's on the my X page.
Lovely. We appreciate you. Yeah, I've got those for you.
What is that crown and number by my name? They're doing something new on YouTube chat. I guess, whoever chimes in first or something. I don't know. I don't understand what they're doing. Because I noticed that yesterday when Allie was doing her astrology readings. I saw the crowns and a number on the crown. And yeah, so I'm not sure what that is and what that means. So Vera's saying that out of the blue, no coffee or any sodas like Coca-Cola. Woke up one day and didn't feel like drinking coffee and just started, I think she meant just started drinking tea. No willpower needed. Fantastic.
Wow.
That's how I ended up quitting smoking in 2019. Yeah, I understood that. Second coffee should be tea. Yeah. There's Sarah Ann. Welcome back. Good to see you again. She just booked a reading.
Thank you. Yeah, if anybody wants to book a reading, it's the best time at the moment because it's nearly half price reading. So it's $50 for an hour, which works out £40, or it is $25 for half an hour, which works out £20.
One of my Hungarian friends, Sarasota Hungarian friends, booked a reading with you, Gabby.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, she just booked that through the website. So.
Oh, it'd be lovely to meet her.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you, Tara.
Yeah.
Tara Lake. Yes, thank you so much. We made it through all the chat so far up until this point.
Hey.
Cheers.
Cheers. If there is anybody who wants to ask a question, a global prediction question, then please do.
Indeed.
Yeah. It's so much happening. Wow.
There is, and we can probably start scrolling back and getting to some of the ones that have already been asked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh. Wow. I'm so lucky to do this show with the hottest goddess. It's my honor, it's my pleasure to be here with Allie. She really just fills this show with love and completes.
Well, that works for us, me and you together. This is both of us, I think, work well together, I believe.
Oh yeah, we do.
Oh, I'm just making sure I've got everybody. Up. Yeah.
Get everyone.
Yeah, I'm just going back, making sure I've got everybody. So I think I have. It happened so quickly.
Yeah, if you guys notice that, Allie is rocking, so please send her loving, healing energy.
Been a day. I went shopping with Mum, which was nice. Yeah. So.
Okay.
What's the first question?
First question comes from Mel. Were the floods in Texas planned? Man, I saw the radar. You guys probably have too, where it just boom, and it came down. What, the rivers rose 29 feet? Oh, it just broke my heart when I heard about it the other day. I didn't hear about it until maybe a day after, because I don't really pay attention to the news much. Anymore. But God, yeah, that just, it broke my heart. It's completely heartbreaking, and you got to ask yourself, why? Because I don't think anyone believes that this was natural. I don't. But, when you look at the cards, I'm getting that there's somebody that is behind it, maybe like a George Soros kind of character, causing chaos and distraction. And the other two cards that I have, just putting a lot on everyone's mind, as if there isn't enough, especially for light workers nowadays. We're all going through a lot of shit right now, more than you really know. But we're gonna get through this. We are. And yeah, it's been an uphill battle, but we're going to come out on top on this. They whoever they are, you can say the left, you can say Soros, whatever, those that are trying to fuck things up, they're running out of ammo. They don't have a lot of cards left in their deck, and there's hardly any bullets left in the chamber. So these are their death throes, basically. Their dying days, and you're going to see this shit gradually ending sometime in the near future. But they really can't sustain this for much longer, and I think that perhaps maybe Doge uncovered a lot of their assets, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with that, though, because Congress has sat on their freaking asses, and they're not further investigating where this money came from, where it's going, and all that shit, which makes me think that, why? Because their congressmen are complicit with kickbacks and money laundering and all that shit as well. And and I can't say for sure, but if this whole Epstein thing is a cover up, then really what does it matter what party you vote for? Let's hope that there's a bigger plan, that there is shit going on behind the scenes. But if we don't see shit happening by the end of Trump's term, we've been had. And it's time to wake up. And maybe that's the call for, I'm not going to say the word, but it rhymes with evolution, with an R in front of it. This is for entertainment purposes only. But you get what I'm saying. Because, in that whole, Elon Musk's American Party, not feeling that either, because that's going to basically divide the MAGA group and will allow the Democrats to win, even though there's Democrats that are already coming aboard with Elon. Go figure. Anyway, God, I ranted. Let's bring Allie in here and see if she can ask or answer the question. Were the floods planned in Texas? I say hell yeah. Let's see what Allie says.
I agree, my love. Yes, absolutely. It's so sad, but yes, absolutely. Right down to every detail. In fact, I can hear them kind of, there's a chanting. So I feel that there was some sort of ritual going on at the same time as that. So they were feeding off that energy. So it was definitely very kind of low level, low vibration, trying to bring in some more power, because they are losing. They are not going to win this time. They are not. They've won every other time. They've come out, somehow on top all the time. I do believe that some of the children have been rescued. I feel that they did use this as a way of gathering up some children, like they do every disaster. I believe that this is what they tried to do this time, but they a lot were rescued, but obviously some not. But this is always a secret mission behind the scenes that they are doing. But there is a female that has funded this. It's a female this time, not Soros. So it's a female. And the first one that comes to me is Oprah. So this is for entertainment purposes only. But something is there. It feels like. So I believe that the person who is playing Oprah isn't actually her. Okay, that's there was an advert with her in it, and although it was AI, it was still not her either. So there was definitely something off about that. So yeah, I don't feel the energy of her, but I feel that it's like the puppet master to her money. Yes. And that is what has been happening. So definitely planned. Yeah, it's what I get.
Well, it's interesting too. Now we're seeing more and more, articles and rumors about Obama's Big Mike and Barry divorcing. The kids are, one of the kids went into acting and isn't using the Obama last name anymore. Gee, I wonder why. Because she was never an Obama to begin with, perhaps.
Yeah.
All this shit, man. You want the truth to come out. It came out years ago about how his birth certificate was layered, different fonts and all this shit. And nobody looks into that. Nobody looks into Hillary's Blackberries or Wiener's laptop or Hunter's laptop, and now the Epstein files. All this shit gets swept under the rug, and we're getting sick and tired of it. Time for the truth to come out, or
Yep.
else. Or else.
True. It's true. We are ready. I mean, we've been ready for for years, but I think even the normies are now noticing this is not right. The P Diddy thing. How on earth can that happen? How can he? There's such damning evidence given over and over and over again. They have to have been manipulated. Have to have been.
Yeah. And that brings us to our next question.
Yeah.
Nice way. Was a deal made with Diddy that lightened his sentencing? And my first card out. Can't make this shit up. Check out these cards. First card out was the yes card. And then we got the devil card. We've all heard that they all signed their soul to the devil in music. Yeah, well, there's your confirmation. And I'm getting that. Once again, I'm getting that there was some male figure that was behind this. And what I'm getting is it's not like Soros or anyone. It's somebody way up above. And it could just be a male entity, maybe not even of this planet. Because of all the shit that and the loosh that's being absorbed through Diddy's actions, it makes absolutely no sense. How he got off. There was definitely briberies and payoffs and shit like that. That's what I'm sensing. It's for entertainment purposes only, once again. You guys feel it too. You have to. And the cards don't lie. So that's what I have. Let's see what Allie's got.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I've got the High Priestess, which is secretive. So there were secret deals made at that point, and those jurors are going to have either book deals or that's already going to be very successful. There's so much to that. So yeah, I'm just seeing it's like they belittled Cassie's evidence, and it's like, did you not see her being dragged back to the freak off? That alone is telling you that she did not want to participate. She might have done in some. She was trying to please him, but how many? No, she didn't. She had to be completely drugged up. She had to be completely off her head in order to do these things, and so nobody in their right mind would let him do what he did. I mean, it's just foul. Some of the things that were said, it's just absolutely foul. He is an animal, an absolute animal, and so definitely paid off. There was something happening there. Yep, that's it.
Yep, I agree. Spot on, my love.
Yes.
Our next question, and thank you, Susie, for that one. Our next question comes from Akasha. And I might not understand this question, but the cards have an answer for you. There's a video going around that Ursula von der Leyen and the EU is planning on taking savings to pay to rearm Europe. Do the cards agree, or is it fear-mongering? What I'm getting, Akasha, is that there has been a plan that's been going on for a while, revolving around this. And once again, someone's back is against the wall, which is kind of telling me that it could be fear-mongering. But regardless of whether it is or isn't, shit's going to happen quickly. And we can all sense and feel that there's some false flag that's in the air, literally. You got this tornado going on behind here, fast and furious changes going on. So yeah, I see something along that line, and it might be fear mongering, you know, to see if Russia will call their bluff, kind of thing. If that makes sense, but that's what I got with the cards. So yeah, something's happening. Let's see what my love has. Oh, she's shaking her head no. She can't come in right now. All right. Anyway, what else do we have? Caught me at a loss for words. That's an oddity. So I don't want to scroll away from the question because I'll lose it and Allie won't be able to see it. But I'm just going to have to take that chance. I'm just going to scroll back all the way down to the end so I can see what's going on in the chat right now. So the Oprah I lost 60 pounds salt formula commercial on YouTube. I'm about to toss my computer. I keep reporting it as a scam and spam, right? I'm hoping they're busy raking through the garbage, so they are acting like they are not looking into Epstein anymore, right? Coffee dogs and spirit rods. How are you? Shannon says, I'm in Topanga, California. We've had a chemical crud problem on the West Coast for years and years. Yeah, all this shit is just culminating and coming to the, you know, like a crescendo kind of thing. And many of us have gotten to our breaking point, right? Where, what was it, Popeye that said, I've had all I can stands and I can stands no more. Pops a can of spinach and starts kicking ass. But that's where they keep pushing us. And is that part of the plan? To keep pushing us to the brink of where we're going to fight back? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because, you know, most of us here in this genre, we're lovers. We're not fighters, but I have a saying on my Facebook page, don't mistake my easygoing demeanor as a weakness. In other words, don't fuck with me. You will get your karma. Linda says they've been investigating all that. They have all the evidence. Nothing can stop what's coming. Hallelujah. Hope you're right. Hope we're not being played. There she is.
Sorry, love.
It's okay. I always have your back.
You do.
Always.
Always.
I'm scrolling back trying to find that question. I knew I'd have a hard time finding it. It was about that, you know, I don't know, I'm getting closer to it. Here it is.
Okay, about rearming Europe. That basically means what? Giving us back our guns. That's what that means, does it? Giving us back our guns. Right. I believe that's mind games, and there's no truth in it. It doesn't mean to say they haven't tried, but I don't feel as if it's connecting to anything. So yeah, we're still without a proper way of defending ourselves if if Big Brother decide to come get us, because that's what they're doing already. Look at poor Lucy Connolly. She sent a tweet out and then deleted it afterwards, and she ended up with 31 months in prison. She's still in prison now. 31 months. She's a mother. She's never done anything wrong. She'd lost a baby. She was very depressed. She wrote something, not that bad. It was just like, because there was a lot of riots going on. This is Britney, not Britney, Taylor Swift dance school, and there was a guy came with a machete and basically killed all of them, or at least a lot of them. And the whole of Southport went mad because, yet again, our justice service, they didn't let anybody know that he was yet again a Muslim, and they were trying to cover it up again. And so, you know, this is what was happening, and it's got to be the radical Muslims. I've got to separate the two. This is not, you know, there are lots of very lovely, easygoing, beautiful people who are Muslims. So this is the radical stuff. This is the evil, hate America, hate anybody who doesn't agree with them. So anyway, she wrote something, and it was like it's like an exasperation of it all kind of tweet. She realized it was a bit too much, not that bad, and she deleted it. Next minute they came and arrested her, and she tried to appeal it recently, and she was refused. Her husband is dying of bone cancer. She's got an 11-year-old child as well, and this is what is going on here in the UK. So it's a two-tier system. They call him two-tier Keir. Because Keir Starmer, he is, none of it is making sense, because that same week that they let out a paedophile early, they let him out early, and he hardly did any time, something like 6 months or something like that, and they let him out in 31 months she got. So there is no balance to this at all. So yeah, we are absolutely desperate for somebody to stand up for the UK. So anytime Trump is willing to stand up for us, we are like, well, God bless you, thank you, because it's bad. Yeah. So we could do with a few guns, is what I'm saying, to defend ourselves, not anything else. I'm against violence.
Oh yeah.
I don't want any violence.
Mary said shared, and as always, liked. Good to catch some of this live. I'm in central New York, Gregg. Since call it upstate, yes. But I'm here where I grew up.
Put you down?
What's that?
I've put her down.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you.
Rome. Yeah, so Rome is like an hour from Oneonta. So I call it upstate, but maybe upstate is more like Watertown, Potsdam. But to anyone that lives in New York City, it's anything above Poughkeepsie. So, and that includes Buffalo, which is western New York. Patrice says she has a book being edited there in London.
Lovely. Good for you. I love that.
Kasha's asking, can you see the Canadian government falling before the year is over? Anything is possible, So, well, let's see what the cards have to say. Oops, that card just fell right out. And anything's possible, right? This card falls out of the deck. You got the Wheel of Fortune, where there are a lot of possibilities of shit happening. And oops, that one fell out also. Well, we got the Five of Wands. And there's a lot of talk going on, apparently. And I think this is more the people than anything else, because our next card out is the King of Pentacles. So I'm not feeling that. I'm this is kind of like my trump card in this particular deck. Unless Trump has some kind of influence of what's going on there. Maybe that's what that card's trying to say. But I'm not seeing the Canadian government falling before the year's over. If anything, I see Trump trying to help put things in place there. So Ellie has gone away again, so maybe I'll take a screenshot of this. And I'll just re-ask her later on when she gets back, or maybe I'll just move on to the next question. Will the people of Ireland take their country back? Well, let's take a look into that. Once again, I got a different king card, but I'm kind of feeling like Trump's going to have some kind of influence on there in Ireland as well. Perhaps helping to dictate what's going on in your country. I'm seeing it has something to do with money as well. Bankruptcy, or maybe there's a new world currency coming in that's going to help influence this decision, because I know Trump's been working on that as well. But yeah, I'm not really seeing and the last card is the Hanged Man, which is encouraging us to see things from a different perspective. Man, this is almost tied into the previous question about rearming and all. But without weapons, it's hard to get your country back, you know? That's why they're trying to take the weapons here in the United States. That'll never happen. But without the weapons, you're kind of screwed. But to look at things from a different perspective, it all boils down to how corrupt is your voting system. Because all voting systems can be manipulated, period. We trust that they're not, but they can be, and it's been easily proven many times over. The best way to take your country back, though, is through the vote. But if you're voting for the lesser of two evils, that's not taking your country back. So, I mean, we here in the United States, we've had it. We've had it up to here. And it's almost as if they're pushing us into an evolution with an R in front of it. I mean, is that what they're trying to... Isn't that what the Freemason motto, Ordo ab Chaos, is all about? Order out of chaos? Isn't that where they put us right now? Aren't we on the brink of that? Hasn't that been happening, at least here in the United States, since at least 2001, when you know what happened in September? Best way to get your country back is to get somebody honest in office. And make sure you vote for them. It's that change. And the change has to come also from within each person too. And how do you do that, especially when your country's getting taken over by illegal foreigners? I mean, it gets more and more difficult each day. The longer you wait, the less of a probability it has of occurring. I was reading that in the UK, the Muslim population's doubling every, was it 20 years? It's doubling. There's going to be more Muslims in the UK than there is population in the UK right now. Total population, non-Muslim population. So, got to make it happen soon. Get the right people in office. Make sure you get out there and vote. It's the best I can tell you on that. Let's see what Ellie has to say. There were a couple questions. Akasha was asking about the Canadian government, and Quad B is asking about Ireland.
I'll look at this one and then that one. We don't even see there's a good person to vote for. There is 2 new parties that have come about in the UK. Both people, it's like, why don't they just club together? But they don't seem to agree. So, but they're coming away from Farage at the moment because, he has, he's been paid off or something, because he doesn't now want to deport the people that have come over here illegally. France is now actually stopping the boats. Not all of them, but some of them stopping the boats. So things are happening there. But anyway, so will the people of Ireland take back? If anybody can take it back, Ireland can. You guys, you're very passionate about it, so you can push forward. And I do get the celebration card, so I can see that. At the end of the day, make it as uncomfortable as possible. And it's like the country needs to wake up. And so the more shouting, the more speaking out against what is really happening, the normies have to even wake up. So I would say that, there's a good chance of doing it. But like Gregg said, we can't do it with violence. We can only do it with voting. And like Trump said, too big to rig. That is the only way, is to really go down the road of voting. But really, but now they've filtered out. So if it was just reform and Nigel was going to do his job, he's going, the popularity is going up. So we'll see. It's going to be very interesting on next voting. It's going to be very interesting. I don't know much about Ireland. I'm afraid I should be following, but I'm not. So I'll try and keep my ear to the ground there. To do with Canada, let me pull some cards for Canada. So once again, we've got like a celebration card, public acclaim. There's going to be a very good speaker coming out in Canada, somebody who is speaking sense, somebody who is making everybody kind of turn and listen, whereas before they would have been not even listening, turning away from politics completely. But there is, but the trouble is, there's also a psychological manipulator as well, on the other side, who knows what to say to counteract this. So again, this is a power struggle. So unless people can get to know their gut feeling and say this person feels right or this person feels wrong, this is it's always going to be a case of script writers, which script writer is going to be better than the other. But I've remote viewed the future, and I know that everything is going to go to a more, it's like making decisions in a smaller way. So each town, each little compartment are able to make decisions, and be everything be fair, and the people talking about the decision making, not just saying this is what's happening and then laying it on the people. No, everybody's going to have a say. So I do know that is coming, and I'm excited for it, and I do feel that is kind of a worldwide thing. So it's the change is coming. This is a great awakening after all. So yeah. Now so Canada needs Pierre or Trump. Who's Pierre? Do I know Pierre? Who's Pierre? Hello, fellow Canuck. So they are still prosecuting the truckers. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Hello, darling.
Hey, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question, and we're going to go on for about another 15 minutes or so. We're going to be ending around 9:30 tonight. And we apologize if we can't get to everyone's question. Linda has the next question, though. What evidence was under the children's camp that the dark side wanted destroyed? And I'll just answer this without cards. I think that you bring up a great question. What was going on there? What happened there? And what is the history of what happened there? Is that underground a tunnel there? Are there tunnels there underneath that camp? Most likely there are, because there's underground tunnels all throughout the United States. But that's a great question. I really don't have an answer for it. What do you think, hon?
Well, if there are, they're flooded. So
No.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
No. Yes, I feel that there is that camp is used at different other times as well in a ritualistic way. There's a darker side using that place as well. And what came to mind as you were talking was Bohemian Grove, the energy of Bohemian Grove. So, with the big, is it Mollusk, the owl? Is that the owl?
Moloch.
Moloch, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes. So that comes to mind. So I feel it's something to do with the ground, where it is. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Bohemian Grove is in California. But yeah, it could. I'm curious, now that you brought that up, I'm curious what the ley lines are for that particular area.
Yeah. I bet it links to something like an obelisk or something. It's linked there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great question, though, Linda. Thank you.
Yeah.
When will the mass arrests occur?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's take a look into that one. Let's see what the cards have to say. First card up is Five of Swords. Man, look at this card. Someone's saying something that someone else doesn't want to hear. Right? And the first thing I'm picking up on this, we've been told about these mass arrests for how long? I remember this way back in like 2009 when Ben Full of Shitford was talking about it. Ben Full Ford. Man, he's so full of shit. That's what I call him, Ben Full of Shitford. Someone's saying something that someone doesn't want to hear. There's a great meme. You guys have seen that meme where the guy's pointing to a chalkboard, and then there's another the same guy, and right below him there's a chalkboard. First part of the meme asks a question, the second part of the meme answers it. Well, they photoshopped Ghislaine Maxwell's head on that, you know, and she's asking, you know, if about Epstein, something along the lines of, you know, if there are no Epstein files, then why was I arrested for sex trafficking? Right? Shit's not adding up. There's something going on that someone doesn't want to hear. This is the mass arrests story so far. We've been waiting, you know, we haven't waited as long as the whole Nasara Jassara bullshit, which is over 30 years and counting right now. Someone hearing something that they don't want to hear. When will they occur? The Epstein case was the perfect opportunity for that to happen. Now, once again, is it possible that they are doing something behind the scenes? Yeah, it's possible. But I'm getting tired of all the cover-ups. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, we deserve the truth on what happened in September of 2001. We deserve the truth on Anthony Weiner's laptop and the frazzle drip insurance that he had on there. And all these New York City cops that were just shaken by what they saw. What happened to that? What happened to Hillary's Blackberries that she destroyed? And the files and the servers that she had? All the shit gets swept under the carpet, and then there's something else that happens. We're all feeling that we're on the precipice of something both magnanimous, yes, but also that more short term and more of a microcosm, that there's a false, you know what, gotta watch what we say here on YouTube, you know, false F lag that's about to happen, which would once again put that to the forefront, push everything else aside. So it's been like 15 years since they've been talking about mass arrests. You know, Wilcock was talking about it back in, you know, 2008, 9, 10, something like that. Like I said, Benjamin Full of Shitford was talking about it. We're not seeing them. And is that why this whole Epstein shit was saying, oh, there's no Epstein files? Bullshit. There are. Bondi said there were. They were on her desk. Bongino said, oh, we're going after him. All of a sudden, he's all sullen and like looking. He was whiter than Allie. He looked like he had even more alabaster skin when he was talking about that shit. He didn't look right. And he was, like I said, very sullen when it came to talking about that. Were they threatened? Were they bribed? There's a Middle East conglomerate that if you talk about them, you're labeled anti-Semitic. That is all throughout the cabinet. Was somebody paid off? Are they protecting, like I think it was Linda that said in the chat, are they protecting people because they're afraid that the economy, the whole political system, the economy and everything else would collapse if the truth came out? Don't we deserve the truth? Isn't that, you know, truth, love, and light? That's all there is. Give us the frickin' truth at whoever's expense it is. Let the cards fall where they may. And, the next card out I have, someone's being silenced. Their hands are tied. Their mouth is, let's go here. They're blindfolded. They've lost their speech. This says blackmail all over it for the exact reasons I just told you. Something's going to happen. And one truth that I do believe in is you can't stop what's coming, because that vibration of truth, love, and light just keeps building. And it doesn't matter. Everybody will get exposed. I got the death card for the last card. That's not our death. That's the new beginning. That's the truth that they can't stop. That's the truth that's coming. I've been saying it for years on In5d. All this shit has to collapse in order for it to be rebuilt in humanity's best interest. That's what this card's representing in this context. That's what I have. Bring on the truth, baby. Let's see what Allie's got. Hottest goddess. What?
Well, I've heard some, some of these kind of some of them are AI generated, but there are others that are. It's a bit like the military information that's actually going on behind the scenes, linking with the mass arrests. And I go with my heart. I go with what my gut feeling is saying, and they are already doing these arrests. Military tribunals have been happening, and I do feel that. I do. So, and if the dark side wants the image of that person to carry on, then they can mask that, somebody up and carry on as if nothing's happening. Carry on as normal. So that it basically it messes with people's heads. But the truth is going to come out. Everything is going to be very much aware to everybody. It's still going to be there. There is a bit of inner fighting going on regarding the arrests and making them more public. There are some who want them to be absolutely right out there in public, and some that aren't. There is some ICE agents, this is what I've been getting, that aren't actually ICE agents. They are arresting certain of these so-called elite people, as well as rounding up. So it would be in amongst that, so it doesn't look different. Okay, so they are being arrested. So I do see that. So yes. We're nearly able to see what's actually happening. We're very close. So there you go. That's what I get. So it's
yeah, we are so far behind on the questions and everything.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Trying to find. Maybe we can do one more question here. I'm scrolling.
We appreciate all your questions as well, everybody. We appreciate. We love hanging out with you guys. Some weeks we can be on here for a long time, and some it's been a lot of heavy stuff going on in either Gregg or I's, or both of us, and we have to cut things shorter. we do apologize. We don't mean to do that.
This is a fun one for our last question, and then we'll have to do that. Or when do you do the drawing? Is that tonight or?
No, the last. So we've got a few weeks.
Okay, good. Okay, so Patrice Curtis has our last question. Will the ETs make themselves known soon? I love that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've always been a firm believer. I've talked about this several times. I've written about it numerous times. I don't buy the creation story. Why? Because there's no way we all came from Adam and Eve. There's 4 different blood types, 2 different RH values, positive and negative. You have A, B, and O. Positive and negative of every one of them. You can't get 4 blood types with 2 RH factors of positive and negative from 2 people. It's impossible. Fast forward to Noah's Ark. More hot air and bullshit. Of course, it might be a metaphor, for being like a seed vault or something, but with DNA. But if you take the story for its literal purpose, there's no way that what did Noah get? 2 Asians, 2 African Americans, 2 Mexicans, put them on the ship, and if he did, then is everybody the product of incest afterwards? How did he round up animals that were not indigenous to his area, like penguins, sea lions, polar bears, stuff like that? Zecharia Sitchin talks about the Anunnaki, which makes a lot of sense because they came here to mine and to mine for gold, to protect. I guess they put it on the barrier of the outside of their planet, grinded it up into dust somehow to protect their planet, which would explain the emphasis of gold in our society and how the Roman Catholic Church has enough net worth and tons of gold to feed, clothe, and shelter every person on this planet. So you got to ask yourself, why is there starvation and homelessness? Why aren't they working under God's word? But the Anunnaki created eventually 3 races. The 3rd race that they created was called the Adama race. Adama, as in Adam and Eve. Adama. If you want your biblical creation story, that's where it came from. The Sumerian texts talk about it. And the Anunnaki were the ones that created the Adama race. And that was the one that ended up mining gold for the Anunnaki. But they also got what was called from the Aku. They got this gift from the Aku, which gave us emotions. According to Robert Morningsky, who has a fantastic series of videos on YouTube. You can look them up on the creation story. It's really fascinating. But yeah, that gift from the star system or the tribe of the Aku, the extraterrestrials, gave us the emotions. Now, what you have to ask yourself is, we have 64 codons in our DNA, but only 20 are turned on. Why are the remaining codons in our DNA turned off? What possibilities could we have of being superhumans, each and every one of us, if we could figure out a way to turn on all of the codons in our DNA? I have a meditation on the In5d YouTube channel that I listen to when I go to bed. It's an hour-long meditation. Check it out. I'm trying to figure that question out myself, and I'm creating the affirmations that all of the positive, the beneficial codons in my DNA are activated. I can do anything, and what would I do? First thing I'd do is I'd lay my hands down on Mother Earth and heal every person that needed healing. And you could do that instantaneously. Then I'd try to share that knowledge with everyone else. I'm allowing them to be able to have all their codons activated and turned on, the beneficial ones, which I would assume would be all of them. Imagine how much more we could process. If they say that we only process 15%, we only use 15% of our brain maximum. Imagine using the remaining 85 and 100% of your brain. What could you be capable of doing? You've heard of people. I have an article on In5d about this one guy who had a head injury. All of a sudden, he was a fractal genius. You hear about that also. They get hit in the head or something like that, some traumatic brain injury, and all of a sudden they can play piano like Tchaikovsky, never having a lesson before in their life. They just hit a note on the piano and they can figure out the whole chord structure. What are we capable of doing? I know I've gone off, got on my little soapbox once again. Allie's falling asleep. Now she's mimicking me with my hand. But yeah, so long story short, will the ETs make themselves known soon? Oh, the one last thing I wanted to talk about too is a third possibility. Yeah, sure. We could have been created by the Anunnaki, but there could be the other creation story. But what if we were seeded here by various star nations? Pleiades, Arcturus, right down the line. What if they seeded us here? That would explain, along with Zecharia Sitchin and the Anunnaki, either one of those stories would explain the differences in blood types, ethnicities, race, even language. What if every foreign language wasn't a foreign language? It was actually a star language. Is that a possibility? Hell yeah, it is. Of course, you talk about that to a normie and they think you're crazy. But the normies still believe the Adam and Eve bullshit story. And that's what it is, hot air and bullshit. It's the greatest story ever told, according to Jordan Maxwell, who I did have the pleasure of interviewing 3 times before he passed on. Will the ETs make themselves known soon? Look in the mirror. I'm 1/4 Russian, Polish, Spanish, and Italian. 4 different star races. My daughter has, my ex-wife has 7 different races in her, which gives my daughter 11. A lot of people think that we are the genetic royalty of the universe because we have all of these star system lineages within us. Will the ETs make themselves known soon? Look in the mirror. Hi, I'm Gregg. I'm from the star systems that are represented by Russians, Polish people, Spaniards, and Italians. We are here, and they're watching over us too. Our star families are up there watching over us, bringing star family together. That's a long answer, and I know I wanted to wrap this up shortly, but there was so much to cover on that, and I hope you guys can resonate with that. That's my answer on that, Patrice. Let's see what Allie has to say. Oops.
Oh no, it's really good information. I love it. So I do. I mean, they have. There's actually an interruption of our BBC broadcasting in 1970 something, where an off-worlder is speaking through there. It's interrupting, and basically it's very, so it's out there already. Will they do it again? I think they would. I do. I feel that they're obviously already communicating through the crop circles. There's a lot more to those than I feel that there's real communication there. But yeah, they're just going to keep pushing until more and more people, realize that there's more to this, more to the earth, more to, this is like a learning station here. This is a university, a spiritual university, and we're here for, and we're here to ascend. We're here to learn lessons spiritually, and to clear up negativity, from previous lives, things like that. So yeah, they will be making themselves known more and more. So, and I believe it will be more dramatic than just showing their ships. But I picked up in the astrology readings that the ships will be seen more and more. So look up, don't keep looking down, look up, because and once you see them, ask them to show you, ask them to, so if it's night time, ask them to power up. I know Gregg's done that before with his night vision goggles, and so they can do that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So Patrice says, I feel Stonehenge has something going on. Absolutely. Linda said, I agree, Gregg. We are seeded here. Elizabeth April has done some great videos about that. I do love Elizabeth April. I think she's very interesting. Yeah.
Also, just going to do a quick screen share. We made that prediction a couple of years ago. I made a prediction on our, when was it? This was posted on the 23rd. So it was the New Year's Eve show on December 31st of 2022. One of my predictions was that there'd be a UFO sighting at a major sporting event. And a few months later, that's what happened. And, this anomaly appeared over this golfing match, and nobody really has explained to this day what specifically it was or wasn't. But I firmly, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you for putting that up there on the screen, hon. I forgot to do that. But they're here. They're watching over us. The Disclosure Project, Stephen Greer's Disclosure Project back in 2001, I believe, had a retired military person saying that the ETs came down and disabled all the nuclear warheads. Why?
I feel that.
Why? Because they're watching over us, yeah. So
I feel that. Mm.
We're always mirroring each other. So, and yeah, I was checking out what you guys were saying in the chat too. Kind of multitasking while Allie was. So, yeah, it's a pretty fascinating topic about the ETs and our family and stuff like that. And there's a lot of fascinating conversation that was going on in the chat as well. But we're going to have to sign off now. So, is there anything you would like to wrap up with, my love?
Just that the offer for nearly half price readings is still available. $50, which works out £40 for an hour, and $25, which works out £20 for half an hour. Make the most of it. It won't be on for forever. So yeah, that's it.
And
Martel, I'll put you on the here because I've just seen that you shared. So Martel, you are on there.
and there's probably a number of others that have shared and liked, but I'm sorry we didn't get to everyone. And it's and that's the hard part about asking people to like and share and putting them on the list, is to go back through, because as we go on through, we just have to scroll quickly to get to the next question, and there's a lot that we miss in between, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but I've got a lot of you on here. We've gone up to 77 likes, shares. So yeah, so there'll definitely be 2 prizes. So yes,
that's awesome. I don't have anything to add, but I just want to thank you all for being part of our In5d family. You guys rock. You help us make Tuesday nights special. And it's our honor. It's our honor answering your questions. So on behalf of the hottest goddess, the love of my life, the lovely, beautiful, vivacious, sexy, funny Allison Prescott, I'm Gregg, and we're sending you lots of love and light, unconditional love and light from our hearts to yours. Till the next time, take care, everyone. Peace!
Go Chiefs!
Indeed! Bye, everyone.
See ya. Bye.